Shout out to Jimmy Carter for sending me this story, and it's a reason why I'm using this picture to describe what's going on with Kevin Spacey right now. We haven't had really much of an update with him as of late, but this is the latest update, and it looks like Kevin Spacey is going to get the Harvey Weinstein treatment. And the reason I say that is because according to this article coming from the Daily Mail, it says Kevin Spacey's accuser drops lawsuit claiming he was molested by the actor just days before statute of limitation expires in the case. Why does this to me scream that accuser was paid off? I'm like this. If you accuse somebody of something like this and you allow the money to keep your silence, and they most likely did something to you, it makes everybody question your credibility. It makes people believe that you were probably lying about this the whole time. Do I believe Kevin Spacey's a creep? Yeah. But now it's making me like side-eye this accuser. Like, was this accuser lying? Probably now knowing this, he probably was, because they took the money. To pretty much his silence was purchased. It says, the young man who claimed he was molested by Kevin Spacey at a Nantucket bar has dropped his lawsuit against the actor. A court filing obtained by DailyMail.com shows that the young man has withdrawn his complaint and that the civil case has been dismissed with prejudice, meaning he cannot refile his suit. That move comes just days before the 3-year statute of limitations would have run out on a filing legal complaint against Spacey, who he claims reached down his pants and groped him at a bar back in 2016. He was 18 at the time, but admits to telling Spacey he was 23. Spacey has denied the allegations and is still facing a criminal charge. That case could potentially be in jeopardy as well after the young man and his family misplaced the cell phone he had been using that night to text with his girlfriend and a group of friends about the alleged incident. Yeah, after just reading that part, I think it's pretty much a done deal for that accuser, and I think it's safe to say that Kevin Spacey is going to walk away from all of this, and he might be able to try, and he may be able to rebuild back his career, but his, like, as far as his career stands right now, is pretty much tarnished. Spacey's accuser has been seeking a jury trial and damages for emotional distress in his lawsuit. He also asked that the Oscar winner be responsible for his medical and other bills. I think there it is right there. It says he asked the Oscar winner to be responsible for his medical and other bills. That, to me, sounds like an extortionist. Don't make it... Now, don't get me wrong. I don't want y'all to make it seem like I'm on the side of Kevin Spacey. Trust me, I'm not. I'm being right. I'm real neutral with this right here. I really don't have an opinion on either thing, but I'm just calling it out. When I read this line, doesn't that sound like this accuser is an extortionist? Like he was using him for money. And that looks like all he really wanted. Spacey's team had been seeking all correspondence regarding the case that was sent by the civil attorney hired by the victim's family. That section of the 70-plus pages of court filings state that Mitchell Garabedian was hired to pursue a lawsuit for the family and accuses the teen of using the criminal case to try and confirm with his lies. Alan Jackson, the Los Angeles lawyer who was representing Spacey, stated the boy and his family have a significant financial motive to fabricate the instant allegations. Garabedian is being asked to hand over all correspondence between himself and the other lawyers at his firm with the district attorney's office. Jackson also asked the judge that a copy of the contract with the victim's family and the date, time, and length of all appointments between the family and the law firm be turned over as well. There are also concerns about an investigation Garabedian did into the claims, with the defense expressing concern that they have not seen these reports. Garabedian had stated that he had turned his findings into the law enforcement, and now the defense wants to make certain the detectives independently investigated all of his findings. Garabedian was a key attorney for victims of the Catholic Church who sued the diocese. That case was later made into the Oscar-winning film Spotlight, in which Garabedian was played by Stanley Tucci. This all comes from just a few weeks after text messages from a filing in the criminal case were revealed, shedding a light on the teenager's allegations. The young man who claims he was molested by Spacey at the club car in Nantucket back in the summer of 2016 texted his girlfriend throughout the evening but never left the bar. Like he's hanging around me in the bar, he got my number and he asked me to come out with him, writes the young accuser. Are you kidding? Responds his girlfriend. What? Sounds like he's hitting on you. The young man never left the bar, however, and would later make light of the incident in a text to his girlfriend. He grabbed my, well, you know, like 8 times, writes the accuser. He's pissed. I'm texting. He said, I told him I had a girlfriend. The defense believes some of the texts have been filtered, however, with the responses seeming disjointed at times. The accuser also states in his last text, from that series of messages, no, I'm serious. He's gay. He pulled down my zipper and he invited me to his house. I'll talk to you later. The conversation then stopped for some time, and later on the accuser sent 15 messages to his girlfriend and 1 to a group of 6 friends. His exchange with his then girlfriend, ended with the text, I got the autographs and a hell of a stout. Story, it says, help me. The text also raised a number of questions too, with Spacey's defense lawyer suggesting that the conversation seemed to have been edited and some of the text deleted. These texts do contradict the victim's girlfriend denial to police when he asked if her boyfriend ever said Spacey stuck his hand down the boy's pants. One message read, Jesus Christ, he reached down my pants. Police spoke to the girlfriend soon after the alleged victim's mother went public. Molly felt, this is felt redacted, would be excited to meet Spacey in that he would be starstruck, the report reads. Let's see here. It's a lot to this article. I'm gonna skip down a little bit more. It says the two next spoke when the victim was running home after fleeing the scene. Molly could tell that she was drunk and she felt redacted. The reason why I say it's redacted because it's like it looks like something was taken out of it, so it sounds like a lot of the stuff is incomplete. So if it sounds like I'm reading kind of incoherently, it's not on me, it's how it's written in this article. It says she said the two discussed the matter for an hour, the report states. Molly told police, however, that she never heard about Spacey sticking his hands down her then boyfriend's pants that night either. She said the first she heard of that was when his mother held a press conference. She also said lots of people knew that the alleged victim had been hit on by Spacey and that people would often joke about it because no one had heard he sexually assaulted him. The club car owner Joe Paterno, that sounds a lot like Joe Paterno, did not see Spacey assault anyone and no one talked to him about it happening. The bartender that evening, David Powell, did not see Spacey assault or sexually assault anyone that night. It is also noted that he first heard about the victim's alleged story after the mother's press conference. Klaus Bolkeman, a waiter at the restaurant, said that the whole thing was blown out of proportion. Spacey and his legal team have made a number of damning statements about the teenager he is accused of groping in the boy's family in recent motions. The defense team for the disgraced actor submitted 5 motions to the court in March requesting that the young man be required to hand over the entire contents of his cloud along with all relevant passwords. So that's a pretty loaded update. Usually when I do a lot of update videos, they don't usually run this long, but I had to read that because that was just a lot of information there. But to me, it sounds like this so-called victim was indeed lying. Like, you know, if I just believe without a shadow of a doubt that Kevin Spacey did this, then I would say, something just doesn't seem right, you know, with him just being able to walk away from this. But the victim definitely has a shady cloud, if you want to put it like that, hovering over him, because everything that I read and based on the text messages that were sent, it sounds like he was just trying to get money. That's what it sounds like to me. And if Kevin Spacey and his lawyers decide to countersue him, which they might do, I'm not sure how that's going to go. That guy is going to be hit. He's going to take a huge financial hit. But, because it says he dropped the lawsuit, he didn't settle. So the victim, so-called quote-unquote victim, is not getting anything out of this. But it did, in a way, kind of cost Kevin Spacey his career. But, yeah, it's just a wild situation here. But y'all let me know what you think about this down in the comments. Like, share, subscribe. I will talk to you in the next one.